Hey everyone, this is Krista from Bio1, and I am here to answer frequently asked questions from customers about biohazard remediation, hoarding, and any of the kind of overwhelming work that we do to help people in the community. And today I want to answer a really common question because there is actually a lot of misinformation out there. And the question is, what are the different types of hoarding situations that we run into? And so there's actually quite a bit of difference in hoarding. And when we think about cleaning up overwhelming situations, the first thing that you need to know is that there are actually 5 levels of hoarding. And what you probably see on TV or have heard of is that TV show Hoarders. That's on A&E. And that's those instances, those are certainly some of the worst of the worst in the sense that they are unsafe conditions. There's an overwhelming amount of stuff. And it's a really, really hard and emotional situation where there's maybe electric issues, plumbing issues, unsanitary conditions, mice, rodents, things running around. And while we certainly do help with a lot of those situations, those are really a category of 5. Those are at the very top of the hoarding pyramid, as you will. And there are a lot of different ways that we can help people overcome that, but there are also several other levels. And one of the things that people don't realize is that a family of 4, so mom, dad, having full-time jobs, kids at home, that can add up. I think we can all agree to sometimes a messy home where dishes haven't been done, maybe newspapers or magazines are stacking up, maybe the play area has Legos and clutter and toys everywhere because no one's putting it away, and that can be considered a level 1 or level 2 hoard situation. So when we think about hoarding, a lot of times it actually ranges in variance from a typical family home all the way up to someone who is really struggling and someone that's living in a super dangerous condition and situation. And so when we get calls from Bio One, oftentimes people are in that level 3, level 4, and level 5. But there's also different types of hoarding situations to know about. There's folks that have a lot of trash. Maybe they're unable to clear things out, take things out, and trash is piling up, boxes are piling up, and things haven't been disposed of. There's also situations where people like to collect things. They're collectors, whether it's a specific item or whether it's clothing, bags, and things that they're not willing to part with yet because there's an emotional tie there. And that can take over rooms, that can take over large spaces. And it can be very, very challenging to go through everything and also try to figure out what to keep and what to throw away. Then there's also animal hoarding. These are some of the most deeply emotional types of situations. There's an overwhelming amount of animals in a home that are living there, but unfortunately it's too much for the homeowner to handle. And the homeowner, after a while, has become desensitized to the issue. They think that animals are better off, genuinely thinks that the animals are better off in that home and in that property than anywhere else they could be. And so there is a lot of help that is required from whether it be social services, therapists, and also animal shelters and veterinarians to make sure that the animals are taken care of, but then also that the person who has created this lifestyle gets the help they need to try to move on to the next step in their lives and to live a healthier life as well. And that's when Bio One is also called in, because oftentimes there is a prevalence of animal urine and feces, waste, trash, and there's really unsanitary conditions that we can come in, we can clean up, we can help, and we can make sure that the place is safe again for someone to live in. And then the last one that people kind of get confused with, and honestly, it took me a while to wrap my head around, is this term called gross filth. And I don't really like the name of it, but that's just what people call it. And if to think about a gross filth situation is to think about it from the aspect of if your house for 5+ years hasn't been cleaned once, a countertop hasn't been wiped down, sinks, baths haven't been cleaned. Over time, dust, dirt, germs, anything that's just floating around in your house over all these years, it starts collecting and building up. And you get a layer of bacteria and just gross grime that just sits there. But one of the differences about Bio One is we come in and we not only remove the clutter, but we will also help disinfect and wipe things down and get it super clean. So that way, if you need electrical work, if you need plumbing, if you need your floors replaced because they've been bowing, or if you need mold remediation, teams can come in and they can do it safely. But oftentimes, those types of contractors won't come in until the home is safe and biohazardous free from any of those situations that I just described. So just to quickly recap, I know it's a lot of information. You have 5 different levels of hoarding. In terms of a hoarding scale, you have the ones that you probably see on TV, but then you also have a typical family home where they just need some organization and some care and detail. We typically work with 3 to 5 in terms of the level and the scale. There's also animal hoarding, there's gross filth, and then there's a lot of just people that just collect things and need some help to go through stuff and determine what do they get rid of. So in any case, that is the answer to that FAQ today. Really appreciate you all. Again, my name is Krista, and I'm with Bio One.